jaw-breaking inputs that we are tracking. This one in connection with the Pune Porsche horror that we have continuously been tracking. Big lead on that front, where the Pune crime branch have arrested the head of forensic lab is what we're picking up. Dr. Ajay Tavde has been arrested by the crime branch, and head of Sassoon Hospital forensic lab has been arrested. You're looking at the images of the person in question who has been arrested by the cops. Now, the big allegation here in terms of this big action is that he's been arrested for tampering with the blood sample. So that's a significant input as far as we're picking up with the particular case. Abhishek, my colleague, who has, of course, been continuously tracking this for us, joins me live. Abhishek, significant development considering this is one of the allegations that had initially come through about perhaps there could have been tampering with evidence in terms of the blood sample. Now action coming through on that front. Tell us more.
It's definitely from the start itself, we have seen how at the time of registration of the first FIR, there were several lapses. And also questions were asked that why these lapses have been made. In fact, SIT was formed and two officials, police inspector and assistant sub-inspector has been suspended also. But now we were continuously questioning that why was there need for collecting two blood sample. In fact, Commissioner of Police Amitesh Kumar has clarified that we wanted to be confident that both the samples are same. One thing. Second, that's the reason DNA sampling has been done. What I'm telling you is the source-based information that those DNA sampling couldn't match. And that's the reason these two doctors, in fact, the head of Sassoon Hospital, were questioned that what's wrong in it. And after the questioning, it was ascertained that there was tampering with the blood sample, and the sample which was initially collected was tampered. And that's the reason those two blood samples couldn't match. And finally, the head of the forensic lab, forensic department of Sassoon Hospital, Dr. Tavare, and one of his colleagues has been arrested by the crime branch team of Pune Police. So definitely, as the probe intensifies, we have seen one after the other, the arrest has been made. But it again confirms the news break of Times Network that tampering was done earlier at the early stage when the initial blood sample was collected and that was submitted to the Sassoon Hospital. Back to you.
Right, Abhishek, as you get us more on the latest as far as this big action, let's also quickly talk about the fact that legally speaking, where things stand at the moment in the case, as far as the minor's father as well as grandfather, judicially speaking, what are we expecting on that front?
Definitely, firstly, in total there are 3 FIRs, one against the minor itself who is in the observation and rehabilitation home. Second, against the father and the pub owners who are now in the judicial custody till 7th of June. Now, the third FIR against the father and the grandfather for kidnapping and wrongful restraint of the driver, for which the grandfather is in police custody till 28th of May. And today, police will be getting the permission of a go-ahead from the session court, the district court, to take into custody the father for the third FIR who is currently in the judicial custody. And what we're coming to know from the sources, the driver as well as the father and the grandfather, all the three will be confronted, interrogated custodially. Custodial interrogation will take place and more clarity will come out as to what happened on that day, how the driver was pressurized to take the blame. Later he was abducted, kept confined in their house, and where is the mobile phone of the driver? That is also being searched by the crime branch. In fact, the BMW in which he was forcefully confined and taken to the bungalow of the Agarwal family. These are the questions that needs to be answered. That's the reason custody will be taken of the father, Vishal Agarwal. He will be confronted along with the driver as well as the grandfather. Call data records will be collected of the mobile phone of Vishal Agarwal and the grandfather and the driver. This case is intensifying as well as, many developments are taking place at every front. But again, I would like to point out initial lapses right from several lapses which we have broken. These are just coming out to be true, and action has been initiated on every possible lapses that has taken place. Back to you.
Abhishek, a quick question as well as far as what you pointed out in terms of how this investigation has panned out. The first point, of course, being with what we spoke about the allegations, the sequence of events that is really in terms of how this horrific incident has unfolded. Now, for most people, of course, they know how this case panned out. It was much after that outrage, which we saw these allegations were put forward to the Pune top cop, which is why he had to address those multiple press conferences as well. But if it wasn't for the outrage, do you think all these lapses would have really come to the fore?
More than the lapses, I would say, these were the cover-ups. The cover-ups at every level, right from those officials at the ground level which did not inform the DCP on night duty via the wireless. They should have done that. They should have taken the boy to the Sassoon hospital. Instead, he was taken to the police station. There are several questions, lapses at those level. That raises question, and we have pinpointed questions to the Commissioner of Police, which have made him to set an SIT that is inquiring into the entire matter. On the other side, subsequently, 3 FIRs have been registered. Probe is taking place. One after the other, arrest is being made. Now, the latest I can update you is definitely the tampering has been done at the initial level of the blood sample collected. That's the reason Dean of Sassoon Hospital along with one of his colleagues have been arrested by the crime branch. These are the developments, and most importantly, the fingers are pointing towards the Agarwal family, who at every level tried to manipulate the probe, tried to shift the blame to the driver, tried their level best so that their minor accused, the minor son, could be saved and the entire blame could be shifted on the driver. But, at every level, they were unsuccessful, and this is what the action and investigation is being taken place by the Pune police, which is revealing the fact that cover-ups, lapses were made right from the initial level, and you can understand how high profile and powerful is Agarwal family, who has been influencing the witnesses, who has been influencing the probe, manipulating the investigation at every level, but now they have been completely exposed by Pune police. Back to you.
Right, Abhishek, thank you very much for putting things into context, not only just with the big action, but overall how this unfortunate incident really for those innocent lives have panned out. But for the moment, we leave it at that. The Pune crime branch have arrested the head of forensic lab is what we're picking up. Dr. Ajay Tavde has been arrested by the crime branch, and head of Sassoon Hospital forensic lab has been arrested. You're looking at the images of the person in question who has been arrested by the cops. Now, the big allegation here in terms of this big action is that he's been arrested for tampering with the blood sample. So that's the significant input as far as we're picking up with the particular case.